Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to get you well informed, share some surprising facts, and hopefully keep you hooked along the way.
And today we're digging into something really old, right here in South Carolina.
That's right. Ancient history, literally beneath our feet.
And we actually kick things off with a pretty amazing story from way back. Think about 1725, South Carolina.
Okay, 1725.
Yeah, long before, paleontology was really a thing. Enslaved Africans working near the Stono River found these huge fossil teeth.
Wow.
And based on their own knowledge, maybe remembering elephants from Africa, they correctly identified them, said they belonged to an elephant-like animal.
That's incredible for 1725. That's actually the first scientifically accurate ID of a vertebrate fossil in North America, isn't it?
It is. Recognizes exactly that. It just shows you right from the start how rich this area is.
So what does that very early discovery tell us about South Carolina's fossil story, I mean?
Well, it really underscores the connection between the land, the people, and its deep past. It's not just a cool fact. It points to this incredible geological narrative here, a story that kind of dictates where you find things and when.
Right. It sets the stage.
Exactly. It tells us about preservation, how life gets fossilized or doesn't.
Okay, so let's unpack this for you, our listener. If you're into earth sciences, geology, maybe fossils, gems, minerals,
Jewelry, lapidary arts, mining, even just collecting cool rocks.
then yeah, this deep dive is definitely for you. Our goal today, explore South Carolina's amazing fossil heritage, get into the how-to of fossil collecting.
And introduce you to a great nonprofit group, the Columbia Gem and Mineral Society, CGMS for short.
Yep. We've got some solid sources for this issues of their newsletter, Rocky Trails, plus some key historical docs on ISSE geology and fossils.
It's good stuff. Lots of detail in Rocky Trails.
Quick heads up here. This is important.
Yeah.
While Rocky Trails is packed with history, some details like maybe old meeting spots or event dates, they might be outdated.
Ah, right. Things change.
Exactly. So for the absolute latest on what CGMS is up to, you need to check their official website. That's www.cgms.rocks.
Good point. Always check the source. www.cgms.rocks.
Got it. Perfect. Okay, let's dig in. South Carolina's ancient past awaits.
So one of the really fascinating things about South Carolina's geology is this idea of feast or famine.
Feast or famine, how so?
Well, you have these huge stretches of time, think Triassic, Jurassic periods,
No.
where the rock record is just quiet.
Meaning no fossils?
Pretty much. Either life wasn't preserved well, or the rocks from that time simply eroded away. It's like a geological blank page. That's the famine.
Okay, makes sense. So after that silence, things must pick up. You mentioned a feast.
Oh, absolutely. Then you get into the Cenozoic era. Started about, 66 million years ago. Still going today,
Oh,
technically.
right. And that was different.
Totally different. Imagine warm, shallow seas just teeming with life, incredibly biodiverse. This is where we see the feat.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. Warm, shallow seas. What lived there?
This is where it gets really good, especially the Miocene and Pliocene epochs. That's roughly 23 million down to about 2.6 million years ago.
And what makes them special?
People call it the golden age of giant sharks.
The golden age of giant sharks. Okay, that definitely sounds like a feast.
It really was. You look at rock layers, formations like the Hawthorne Formation, Goose Creek limestone common around the coastal plain here.
Uh-huh.
Those layers are absolutely loaded. Teeth from the biggest shark ever, Otodus megalodon.
Megalodon.
Yep. And early great whites too, plus tons of fossil shells, mollusks, that sort of thing.
Wow. So if you're dreaming of finding a massive megalodon tooth, those Miocene and Pliocene layers are your target.
That's the prime real estate, yeah.
Hmm.
But the story doesn't stop there. As we move closer to the present, into the Pleistocene, the Ice Age, things change again.
Okay, the Ice Age. What happens then? Still finding fossils.
Oh, definitely. The Pleistocene epoch, maybe 2.6 million to about 11,700 years ago, that was all about dramatic sea level changes, glaciers expanding, retreating.
Right. Locking up water, then releasing it.
Exactly. And you see this recorded in formations like the Wando Formation, 10-mile hill beds, Edisto beach deposits.
And what did those sea level changes do?
Well, when sea levels dropped, land bridges formed. And that allowed huge land animals, megafauna, to move in. We're talking Columbian mammoths, Mastodons, giant ground sloths,
Ice Age giants right here in South Carolina.
roaming freely. But here's the really interesting part for collectors.
Yeah.
When the climate warmed up again, the rising seas and rivers would churn everything up. They'd erode those older Cenozoic layers.
Ah, so they mix the sediments together.
Precisely. It's
Right.
called reworking. So you end up with this, this jumble. You might find a Pliocene megalodon tooth practically touching a Pleistocene mammoth bone.
That's wild. Like a
Yeah.
geological lucky dip. Fossils from totally different times, side by side.
It really is. It makes searching coastal rivers and beaches incredibly interesting. You never know quite what era you'll uncover next.
Which brings up the big question. Where should you actually go digging? And what specific things might you find?
Good question. For marine stuff, especially from a bit earlier, the Eocene epoch, that's maybe 56 to 34 million years ago, the Harleyville Formation is a key spot.
Harleyville Formation. What's there?
Fossil shark teeth, yeah, but also fish bones, brachiopods, other marine critters. There's a quarry nearby, Lafarge Quarry. They actually have a designated collecting area, about the size of a tennis court.
Okay, cool. What about those river finds you mentioned, the lucky dip areas?
Right. Places like Folly Beach, Morris Island,
Mm.
they get fossils washed out by the Cooper River. And the Cooper is, it's known as one of the most fossil-rich rivers anywhere,
Yeah.
globally.
Seriously. In the
And,
world.
yeah, it's pretty special.
Yeah.
So what might you find there? Well, megalodon teeth, obviously.
How big are we talking?
Typically 4 to 7 inches. They're thick, broad, really uniform serrations. And look for the bourrelet.
Bourrelet. What's that?
It's like this triangular bulge of enamel between the root and the main blade of the tooth. Added strength for biting, probably.
Got it. What else? Great whites.
Yep, but their teeth are usually smaller, maybe 1 to 3 inches. Still triangular, but the serrations are coarser, more irregular, and importantly, no bourrelet.
Ah, key difference. No bourrelet on the great white.
Exactly. Knowing those little details helps you ID your finds, connects you to the actual animal, you know? You might also find chunks of mammoth molars.
Mammoth teeth. What do they look like?
Big, blocky fragments, usually, with these very distinct parallel enamel plates running across them. Super distinctive. Tells you an Ice Age giant was here.
Finding those, or the shark teeth, must be such a thrill.
It really is. The excitement of discovery is huge. But
There's always a but.
there is. With that thrill comes responsibility. You need the right gear, sure, but more importantly, you need to collect responsibly.
Okay, let's talk gear first. What do you need?
Pretty basic stuff, mostly. Digging tools, maybe a small shovel, screens for sifting sediment.
Screens, right? Yeah. To wash away the mud.
Yeah, buckets to carry finds, definitely work gloves, and, dress for the weather, sunscreen, hat, water, whatever the day calls for.
Standard outdoor prep.
Mhm.
But the responsible collecting part, that sounds crucial.
It is absolutely crucial. You have to know and follow the local and state laws, period.
Okay. What are the rules in South Carolina?
South Carolina has what's called a hobby license program. It lets you recreationally collect fossils and artifacts like arrowheads in state waterways, rivers, creeks, on state-owned land below the high water mark.
A hobby license. So you need to get that before you go collecting.
Yes, you absolutely do. You can find info on the South Carolina Institute of Archaeology and Anthropology website, or SCDNR. Ignorance of the law, not an excuse. You've got to do your homework.
Good advice.
Yeah.
What about physical safety?
Also important, coastal cliffs. If you're near them, they can be unstable. Stay back. Rocks near the water are slippery, especially at low tide.
Yeah, I can see that.
So always tell someone where you're going and when you expect to be back. Carry a basic first aid kit, maybe a phone. Just be smart about it. Protect yourself and protect the sites too.
Protect the sites. How so?
By collecting responsibly. Don't undermine banks. Fill in your holes. Respect private property boundaries. Leave things as you found them as much as possible. It keeps these places accessible and preserves them for, future collectors and scientists.
It connects what amateurs find to the bigger picture of science, right? Like those discoveries you hear about.
Yes,
Tiny dino footprints with skin impressions in Korea.
exactly. Or using fossil ants, these giant Titanomyrma ants, to figure out ancient migration routes across the Arctic.
Yeah.
Every fossil potentially holds a clue.
That dedication, the careful collecting,
Yeah.
it really links hobbyists to the wider world of paleontology.
It does. And speaking of connecting, this is a perfect time to talk more about the Columbia Gem and Mineral Society, CGMS.
Right. They sound like a hub for this kind of interest. Tell us about them.
Okay, so CGMS is a nonprofit educational organization. Their whole mission is promoting interest in earth sciences.
Like geology, mineralogy, paleontology.
Exactly. And also the related arts, like lapidary cutting and polishing stones. They're plugged into a bigger network, too. Southeast Federation of Mineralogical Societies, American Federation.
So they're well established. How do they foster that interest?
A big part is their monthly meetings. They usually have speakers, presentations, covering all sorts of topics: geology, fossils, gems, minerals, jewelry making, lapidary stuff, mining history, rock collecting adventures.
Sounds fascinating. Who gives the talks?
Members invited experts. For instance, Ron Allen, that's pronounced Ron Allel, he's given talks on plant evolution based on the fossil record. Really interesting stuff.
And anyone can go to these meetings.
Absolutely. They welcome anyone who's interested. You can attend, meet people, learn things, and decide if you want to join the club. It's a great way to connect with folks who share your passion.
It really sounds like it. Now, you mentioned meeting locations. They've had a bit of a journey with that, haven't they?
They have, yeah. Shows their resilience, I think. For 50 years, believe it or not, they met at the McKissick Museum on the USC campus.
50 years. That's amazing.
It is. But then, the COVID pandemic changed things. They had to find other places to meet, like Hope Church sometimes.
So where do they meet now?
Well, that's the thing. They're actively looking right now, searching around Columbia and nearby areas for a permanent home, a place where they can consistently hold meetings, lectures, and importantly, set up their lapidary workshop again.
Ah, the workshop. They had one before.
Yeah, they leased a place on Frink Street in Case. Remember, that's KC.
Right, KC.
But that lease ended back in 2019. So the workshop equipment is in temporary storage, waiting for a new permanent spot.
So finding that permanent home is a big goal for them right now.
It really is. In the meantime, you just need to check that monthly Rocky Trails publication or the website for where the next meeting will be held. They always announce it there.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that workshop, though. Lapidary. What goes on there?
It's really vital for members. It's where you can learn hands-on skills, like making cabochons.
That's shaping stones into those smooth, polished domes, right? For jewelry.
Exactly. Or using the big slab saws to cut rough rocks, trim saws for finer shaping. It's where you turn a rough find into something beautiful or ready for study. I think Gary Hurt is the contact person if members want to arrange time to use the equipment.
Practical skills, community learning. It sounds like a great setup. But they also have a big public event, right?
Oh, yeah. Their biggest event of the year, the annual Gem and Mineral Show.
Okay, tell us about the show.
It's fantastic. Everyone should try to go. It's held every November in Columbia, usually at the Jamil Temple.
And it's popular.
Hugely popular. They've had over 1,200 people attend in recent years. It's packed.
Wow. What can you see or buy there?
Oh, everything. Jewelry, loose gemstones, beads, incredible fossils, mineral specimens from all over, gold, silver, vendors selling tools.
Sounds like a collector's dream.
It is. Plus, they do geode selling and cutting. Always fun to see what's inside. Club members display their own amazing collections. There are live lapidary demos so you can see how it's done.
Anything for kids.
Definitely. They usually have grab bags and a salted mine where kids can sift through sand to find little polished stones and things. It's a big hit, a really great event for all ages.
It really sounds like a true celebration.
Yeah, of the earth sciences and the art that comes from it.
So thinking back on everything, we've covered a lot. From South Carolina's deep past those giant sharks in ancient seas, mammoths on ice age plains.
Right. Seeing how the state's geology holds this incredible, vast fossil record, and how understanding that geology, the feast or famine, is key to finding its treasures.
And we've highlighted the Columbia Gem and Mineral Society, CGMS. What a great resource they seem to be. A real community for anyone wanting to dive deeper into geology, paleontology, lapidary.
Absolutely. Connecting that local passion with, the bigger scientific world, they provide that link.
So, our call to action for you listening right now, check them out. Explore the Columbia Gem and Mineral Society for yourself. Maybe attend a meeting, volunteer, or definitely hit their annual show in November.
And don't forget, for the most current info, meeting locations, show dates, all that, the website is the place to go. www.cgmsrocks.
www.cgmsrocks. Bookmark it.
Definitely. And as we wrap up, maybe leave you with a thought to chew on.
Okay.
The fossil record. It's not just about cool old bones and teeth, right? It tells us so much about Earth's history, how environments change. It even gives us clues about climate change today, how life might respond in the future.
connecting the ancient past to our present and future.
Exactly. So the question for you is, what connections will you discover, bridging millions of years, maybe with just one amazing fossil find?